It's one black kid and a group of white kids that's his friends, and one of them pushed him into the water. But nothing is happening as far as justice in Chris' situation.
We know that your power and your anointing, God, is stronger than any force.
Local pastors, community activists, family, and hospital staff gathered outside of Ochsner Medical Center, praying for Chris's recovery.
We stand
able to talk again.
In the days of recovery with him progressing, it's still a struggle, it's still a battle because we don't know day for day what to expect.
Alright, what's up with the YouTube fam? I'm back again with another video. So look, before I jump into this video, I gotta start it off the right way with some positivity. I want to tell all my supporters out there, thank y'all, and I appreciate y'all for rocking with me the way that y'all rock with me. I got a real support system out there, and that's what's up, man. I appreciate that. And I also want to tell y'all that I hope that everything did go good today during your day, or it will go good today during your day, just depending on when you see this video or when I post this video. But anyway it goes, I'm simply wishing y'all nothing but the best in every aspect of your life. And when I say that, I'm only talking to my supporters and to those who are reciprocating the same energy back to me, and to those who say the same thing back to me in return. But other than that, let's go ahead and move forward into the situation at hand, because we got a lot to talk about. So look, man, another thing I want to say before we move forward is I want to tell the family out there, you know, I'm sending y'all some love, sending my condolences to y'all and things like that, and I hope that everything will be better over time. Now, it's a situation that took place where a young man went out with a couple of people who were considered his friends, and one of the friends actually pushed him into a body of water. And in the midst of that, you know, nobody went out there and helped him. They said one person went out there briefly to try to help, but they went right back. So I don't understand the point in that. But I want to say that with that many people being with him, they said it was around 10 to 13 people, if I'm not mistaken. With that many people being out there, somebody should have been able to go out there and help and try to help a little bit more. You know, he was in the water for 10 minutes. And with him being in the water for 10 minutes, he ended up becoming classified as brain dead. Now, there's got to be some very, very traumatic stuff to actually witness and to go through also. And what I'm saying witnessing for is because people were sitting there watching, and the mother and other people have video footage, and it's just a sad and unfortunate situation that nobody went out there to try to help him. They said one person went out there briefly, but like I say, man, it's so many people that was with him. Somebody could have went out there and did something. They could have tied clothes together, anything to help this young man. And what's so crazy, man, you know, he had a promising future, and he still does. You know, I'm not going to put that to the wayside, but you know, he had a promising future, and he was finna be a doctor, if I'm not mistaken, or he was in the medical field in some type of way, in some capacity. But I just want to say that, man, you got to watch who you calling your friends. You can't be trusting everybody. And another reason why I'm doing this video is because he's not getting the justice that I feel he deserves. You know, I feel like that he should be getting some type of justice. And the mother actually stated that one of the young ladies that actually pushed him, well, the young lady, I can't say one of the young ladies, the young lady that pushed him in the water admitted to it. And there is no consequences for her actions at all, you know. And I feel like they could be anybody's child out there. And to actually get nothing done about this is crazy to me, you know. But I just want to say that everything is looking okay for him. They saying that he's mentally responding, and that's a very big plus, you know. And as far as his real condition, we really just don't know, and I hate to speculate, but they did say that he was classified as brain dead. But let's get into the video, because I actually had the mother speaking and a couple of other video clips and stuff like that. So yeah, man, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. And like I said before, he deserves his justice. And one thing that was stated that really kind of, you know, set off some triggers in my mind was that one of the people that's associated with him said that he was the only black guy with this group of people. Now, I really don't be into all of this stuff like that too much, you know what I'm saying, because I got a different variety of people that watch me, and I don't want nobody to get the wrong idea, but I'm gonna keep it real with y'all like I've been doing from the beginning. I feel like that if it was a young white lady and a black boy pushed her into some water, he most definitely would be in jail. And I feel like that should be reciprocated in every type of way. You know, it shouldn't be no picking and choosing. The law is the law, and if you push somebody and they intentionally did it and they get harmed from it, you should get, you know, some type of charge. But other than that, I don't say what I have to say. Let's get into the video.
Ford man is still on life support in the hospital. We gave you the first alert on Chris Gilbert, who was hanging out with friends when he was allegedly pushed into the water by someone he knows. Community members held a prayer vigil outside of the hospital this afternoon, praying for Chris's recovery. KSLA's Jasmine Franklin was at the prayer vigil and spoke with his mother as she searches for answers.
Right now, he's not out of the raid, is not in the clear.
but he has made a lot of progress.
Shreveport native 26-year-old Christopher Gilbert is still in the hospital on life support.
And I just want his quality of life to be restored. I don't want my son to have to suffer from something that was not his fault totally.
The Louisiana Tech University graduate was hanging out with friends back on April 14th at a lake when one of his friends allegedly pushed him into the water.
It's one black kid and a group of white kids that's his friends, and one of them pushed him into the water. But nothing is happening as far as justice in Chris' situation.
We know that your power and your anointing, God, is stronger than any force.
Local pastors, community activists, family, and hospital staff gathered outside of Ochsner Medical Center, praying for Chris's recovery.
We stand for community, and at the end of the day, Chris, what issues that he's facing right now and this incident belongs to all of us.
Chris was submerged underwater for more than 10 minutes. Thankfully, he survived, but with major injuries, including significant brain damage. Community activists are demanding justice and answers, as no arrests have been made.
So we want the same justice that white people would get. That black kid deserves it. He didn't do anything wrong to be pushed into the water.
Tonight, the aspiring doctor remains laying in the hospital bed, but according to family, his health has improved as he is now able to talk again.
In the days of recovery, with him progressing, it's still a struggle, it's still a battle because we don't know day for day what to expect.
In Shreveport, Jasmine Franklin, KSLA News 12.
Community activists say they plan to continue fighting until Chris Gilbert receives justice, including making a trip in the next few days to Union Parish to demand action from law enforcement. You can find new developments on this story on air and on our page.
All right, Austin, thanks. This morning, a Shreveport family is demanding answers after their son's near drowning at a Lake Darbon, with friends. And joining me this morning is the family, Christopher Gilbert's mom, along with the family attorney, one of the attorneys, Claudia Payne. Thank you so much for joining me. So let's talk about Chris. What happened? When did you get the call?
I got the call possibly around 8 on April 14th on Sunday. I was pregnant was called. She was hysterical, crying in the phone. She told me that Chris had fell into the lake and he had been underwater for 20 minutes or so. And I was like, 20 minutes? Why was he under the water for 20 minutes was my first reaction. And she was just like, oh my gosh, she just kept crying hysterically. And I was like, what is it? He's being airlifted to Shreveport. You know, we immediately started calling around, trying to find out where would he be, where would he go. And they informed me that the only trauma unit they have is Ochsner. So we got to Ochsner. They didn't have a call coming in saying that, you know, a plane was about to land. But eventually, about 20 or 30 minutes or so, they got the call saying that he was on the way. He was 10 minutes out. It's like they got the call like right before they landed. And initially, when my son got there, the doctor called us in and told me that at that time that he was brain dead pretty much, and the rest of his organs were starting to fail, and that we had 72 hours on the ECMO machine. ECMO is like sort of like dialysis for the lungs, and they had to put him on a ventilator.
Wow. And so I'm going to bring in one of your family attorneys, Claudia Payne, working along Lee Merritt.
That's correct.
And you guys have learned more. Tell us
Yes.
what you learned. Did he fall into the lake? Was he pushed into the lake?
So initially, as the mother reported, we initially thought that he fell in the lake. That was what the friend group initially reported to officers. Soon after, and I guess after more investigation, they soon found out that he was actually pushed by a female within that friend group. She actually admitted to mom as well as the police officers that she pushed him into the lake.
Was this horseplay or was it mad or?
Well, in the legal field, we characterize things the way we see fit. So, of course, they are saying horseplay. We are saying that it was a criminal, intentional push into the lake.
And why didn't anybody go in after him?
Well, now we've seen a video where one of the friends in this group attempted to go into the water briefly, but neither one of the individuals a part of that friend group were the ones to retrieve him from the actual water.
Okay, we have video of Lake Darbon, and shortly after he went in. Can we share that video, please? Tell me what's going on here, Claudia.
Okay.
This is actually Ochsner LSU. We took this video this morning because this currently is where Chris is at this time.
That's correct. He's within their care.
Okay.
This is a more recent photo of Chris. This is approximately 3 days ago. His condition or his stats.
It doesn't necessarily get better, but it does change. It's different. The amount of work that the machines are doing on his behalf is constant.
His lungs are said to be at 20%, so status doesn't really get better. It's just different.
Is he responding?
He is cognitive. He is responding mentally. He cannot vocalize anything currently, but he's able to give a thumbs up and a nod of the head right now.
Okay, now those were the pictures that show some promise, but let's look at the pictures when you first saw Chris at Ochsner LSU. Yolanda, these are the after pictures. What was going through your mind when you first saw him? Because he was just lying there with a bunch of tubes.
When I first saw him, I was devastated. Like, I felt as though my life had ended in a moment. Like, my son is aspiring to be a medical doctor. My son is, going to be a medical doctor.
He has a master's degree?
He got his master's last year in biological science. And he's preparing for medical school. So for this to happen to him, my son is like so sweet, the most selfless being you'll ever meet. And for that to happen to him, like, I was just devastated. Yeah.
And it really be like that, man, when you got a lot of stuff going for you, And it could be somebody jealous of him, got some secret animosity. The girl could not like him for actually doing something with his life. Everything is a speculation, but I do feel like it was something behind it. I don't give a damn if they got into it a little bit. It ain't no reason to push nobody into nobody of water. And I also want to say that, like I said before, it's got to be very, very, very devastating to actually watch your child go from this way to that way. He had a promising future, like I said. I'm just saying had because they said he brain dead, but people do shake back from all type of different things. So, I'm just wishing him nothing but the best in this process. But, you can go from this to that in a split second, and it's just so crazy, man. You got to be careful with who you're dealing with. And, I mean, as much as you might want to be around people, bro, you got to understand that everybody's not for you. And I'm not trying to kick him while he's down. I'm just speaking in general when I say what I say, I feel like you got to be careful with who you're dealing with because a lot of people have secret animosity, secret, competition going on, secret hatred and things like that. And you can be all for them, and really want nothing but the best for them. And they really despise you and hate you, like really hate your guts. And it's just a sad situation. Like she said, he was so sweet, he's selfless and things like that. And those are some of the qualities that people can't stand, And I hate that it's just consistently happening, man. It just consistently keep on happening over and over and over. People with promising futures, stuff happens to them. And you can be literally around people that you think you love and stuff can still happen, bro. That's why I be by myself all the damn time, man, because I be putting my trust in so many damn people and they always let me down. It's been like this since I was a little kid. I just know I'm not gonna let me down, you know what I'm saying? So I just be by myself, but it is what it is. Let's get back into the video. I just had to say that.
What is it that you are fighting for now?
I want
justice.
The young lady who pushed my son, who admitted to me in the family waiting area that night at the hospital, because that friend group came to the hospital, still telling me the same fabricated story that he fell. I learned at that moment in the ER, the sheriff called me and he told me, "Are you familiar with what happened?" Yeah, he was at the lake and he fell. And he was like, "No." One of the young ladies pushed him, and I'm like, "Who pushed him?" And I started looking around the room. Which one of y'all pushed him? Mm-hmm. The young lady, like, "I did." And I was like, "Why would you push my son in the lake knowing he couldn't swim?" She said, "Well, ma'am, I didn't know that man couldn't swim." And I was like, "Who is that man? This is supposed to be amongst groups of friends, right? Who is that man?" "Chris. Everybody knows he can't swim." He jokes about him not being able to swim. Even when we went to the restaurant, the owner of the restaurant even stated, everybody knows Chris can't swim. He's been coming here for 2 years. He always joking about it. I gotta have on a life jacket, you know, because they say he would come there and go canoeing sometime, and he will always have on a life jacket. So everybody knows. If you look at some of the posts, you can see anybody that know him from elementary to middle school. Chris can't swim.
Who actually pulled him from the water? Was it the restaurant worker?
No, it was actually another patron of the restaurant, Dawson Faust, who was a complete stranger to the family and the community prior to this, but now he's their hero, you know. And no, I mean,
It's crazy that a damn stranger got to help you when you amongst friends. And for that girl to say that man lets you know a lot about her and how she felt about him. I'm not going to call my partners that man or that dude or anything like that. That's my partner. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be calling my bro, my brother, something like that. Like I said, it could be some secret animosity. That boy's going to be a doctor, man. It still is and everything like that. I'm not trying to take nothing away from his future. I'm just saying. That lets you know a lot right there. But let's get back into the video. Damn stranger got to help you and you got from 5 to 15 people with you. That's crazy. Restaurant owners, all type of different shit. Let's go.
he deserves the honor.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So Claudia Lee is actually flying into town. What's
He is.
next for you all today?
So his legal team, Chris's legal team, consists of myself and Lee Merritt of Lee Merritt and Associates from Dallas. We have a dual interest: first, to seek justice by demanding that an arrest is made, but also to hold the restaurant bar owner responsible for not keeping Chris safe while he will patronize their business.
All right. Anything else you want to add? We'll be following this story.
I just want to thank everybody for the prayers and the concerns. Thank you. Please keep the prayers coming. He is recovering. It's still a long journey, but I see progress. We see progress, and I thank you all for the love and the prayers. Thank you.
Yeah. The latest pictures are promising. Thank you.
Very.
Moving on with our news tonight. Well, it's been described by many as a miracle. We gave you the first alert on 26-year-old Chris Gilbert, who was allegedly pushed into a lake by one of his friends. According to family, Chris was submerged underwater for more than 10 minutes. Thankfully, he survived. And after spending more than 2 weeks on life support, Chris's mother says tonight he is officially off life support. This is truly amazing. Take a look at your screen right now. This is a recent photo of Chris sent to us from his mother, Yolanda. As you can see, he looks to be in much better shape. Tonight, he is still in the hospital, but family say he is doing much better. The incident happened a little more than 2 weeks ago in Farmerville, Louisiana. Chris was hanging out with friends at a lakefront restaurant when one of his friends allegedly pushed him into the water. This left Chris with major brain damage, and he was on life support, but according to family, his health is improving. And although it has been a significant improvement in his health, his family is still searching for justice and answers.
Facts, they should.
In the days of recovery, with him progressing, it's still a struggle. It's still a battle because we don't know day for day what to expect. And I just want his quality of life to be restored. I don't want my son to have to suffer from something that was not his fault totally.
It's one black kid and a group of white kids that's his friends. And one of them pushed him into the water. But nothing is happening as far as justice in Chris' situation.
But right now, there's no exact timeline on when Chris will be released from the hospital, but his family says it could be very soon. Community activists say they plan to continue fighting until Chris receives justice, including taking a trip to Union Parish to speak with law enforcement in the coming weeks.
And it's so crazy, you know, that like somebody actually did this and still free, you know. And I feel like they should be, you know, responsible for medical bills, hospital bills, like everything, you know, because they are the reason why this happened. And if that is true, which I'm not trying to say that the mother is lying, I just got to speak from like a standpoint of me really just not knowing for sure. Because basically I'm just saying allegedly, you know, if he allegedly told everybody and he made jokes about it and stuff like that he couldn't swim, that was like something intentional, you know, and that's just my personal thoughts and opinions on that. But overall, I'm glad that he is recovering. It might not be the fastest recovery, but he's recovering. You know, a little bit is better than nothing, you feel me? I just hate that, you know, you can have a promising future going, you can have all this other type of stuff going, you know, good characteristic traits, you know, actually just being a good positive human being and something like this happens to you, you know. and then people who do this type of stuff to you are still free. It's just crazy to me. But overall, man, I done said what I had to say about the situation. I want to know your thoughts and opinions on the situation. But other than that, that's all I got to say. If you made it to the end of this video, I do appreciate y'all, and I will holler at y'all later on another video. All right.